Let's take a look at another GED math type problem, and we're going to dig right into it. We're going to start right away by reading it, and then we're going to see if we can identify some key words. We want to understand exactly what it is that this problem is asking us to do, and we want to identify the type of math, those math skills that are needed in order to solve this particular problem. So the question is, which of the following expressions has the greatest value? We have three answers. Letter A, we have the opposite, that little symbol there, that little negative symbol there, or minus symbol. It means the opposite of. So the opposite of the absolute value of a negative 321. So we have to understand absolute value. We also have to understand a little bit about negative numbers. What about letter B? Here we have a cubic root, so we have to understand a little bit about roots, how to find the cubic root of a number, in this case 8. And then letter C, we have exponents, and in fact we have a negative exponent, so we need to know how to solve negative exponents. But in the end, what we're looking at is we are trying to determine which one of these answers, A, B, or C, has the greatest value. In other words, it's the most, it's the highest, the most value. So we're going to dig right in. We're going to go into letter A. As I said, letter A is about absolute value, and so we need to understand what absolute value is. And very simply, absolute value is the distance between a integer and 0 on a number line. So if I quickly draw a number line, and I'll put 0 there, and then let's put our negative 321 on the left-hand side. If I had 321 little units reaching out to the left, and I were to determine how many there were, that would take me a little while, but in the end, I would know that I would have gone, the distance between a negative 321 and 0 is going to be 321 units, and so that's a positive number. So the absolute value of a negative 321 is going to be a positive 321. And then we can't forget about this little symbol here, so we're going to have to add that. So in the end, our answer for letter A is going to be negative 321. I'm going to circle that so that we can see it. Does not mean that that's the answer. So now let's take a look at letter B, and letter B is cubic roots, and so we have to think about what do we remember about cubic roots. And we know that if a number is cubed, that means that it's a number that's multiplied 3 times. So in other words, if 2 is cubed, that means 2 times 2 times 2, which is going to be 8, because 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8. So if I do the opposite of that, if I take the opposite of that, that's where you have the cubic root. And that's how they write it. To put a little 3 up there, the cubic root of 8 then is going to be 2. So far, we've got negative 321 as our answer for letter A. Letter B is going to be a positive 2. And then finally, letter C, we have a negative exponent. And anytime you have a negative exponent, you're going to write that over the number 1. So I'll simply take 1. It's going to be a fraction. It's going to be 425 to the first power. And any number to the first power is itself. So the answer would be 1 over 425. So we've got our three answers. We've got a negative 321. Letter B is a positive 2, and letter C is a 1 over 425. So very quickly, I think we can determine that letter B is going to be the expression with the greatest value. So we go back. Did we answer our question? It says which of the following, so we're only looking for one answer. It's going to be letter B, and that makes sense. And we did all this math without the use of a calculator. This could very well be something that is found on the first part of the GED math test.